Hey, we're Loretta and we're here chatting with Milky. We met in high school in 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we met, Alice.
Yeah. And then Nico was in the grade below and me and Max were in the same year. I got Max to do all of my HSC performances. We became buddies. And then I showed Max a song that I'd written and Max was like, yo, this could be better. And then Max was like, let me fix it. And he did. And that's kind of how he came into the picture. And then anything to add?
Not really. Like, Nico and I had been in bands for years prior to that. And then I'd gone to AIM, which is where I met Ellis. And then I told Nico he's got to come here because it's like music school. We don't have to wear a uniform. Best time ever. And it was pretty cool. And then, the rest of that was pretty accurate.
I think we sort of just wanted to like make a project that was like felt relevant to us and sort of like was encompassing of that and like a time in our lives. Like, because a few of the songs are songs that we had already written prior to sort of like conceptualizing the project. It was sort of just like about like putting like puzzle pieces together and like forming more of a narrative with it.
Yeah, and I guess like a lot of the songs we'd released prior were all sort of capturing just individual moments, like one by one, and it was kind of nice to sink into something that could capture more of like an era for us. And there was like a lot we were all going through in terms of like life and love for a little while there, and that's very much like the theme of that whole record was like this sort of maybe year or 9 months that we all had certain experiences that these songs sort of tracked through. And then when it came time to record it, we really wanted to put the energy behind how we felt with all of these songs into it as well. So like, you know, getting a lot of our friends to come record on it, work on it, and just make sure that the songs really felt in the end how we felt about them when we wrote them.
On that, I guess that what you said before is how each song had a really important kind of moment that was going for each of us at the time, and I think it was really important to capture that through each of the songs, and I think we did that, and I think and tied them together, and that was really important for the project for sure.
I think initially it sort of started with wanting to sound a bit more like a band and like more of a reflection of like ourselves, because like we'd been finding like kind of like the last few years, like with COVID and all that sort of stuff, we were like very focused on like production and like keeping things inside the box. I feel like a very good representation of us is our like live show and energy, and so we wanted to make sure it felt like that, but like an expression of that.
Yeah, the live energy. Like, we hadn't recorded with proper live drums in like a while. We always had some form of live drum, but it would maybe be like just hi-hats, or we'd replace the snares, or, you know, I don't know, do something with it. And it was fun to just record it like a band. Like, we got a bass player in, because usually Nico and I just kind of do all the instrumental side of things, and so that usually includes drums. So we got a friend, Alistair, Daphne, to come play some drums, a friend to come play bass. We worked with like an engineer, which is also not usually how we do it, but again, we just wanted lots of ears on it, and for that sort of live band experience.
The most fun we have, I think, would just be playing live to try and then, I guess, put that into our music so people can kind of experience how much fun we can have with it. I guess that would be.
I was just going to separately ask you if you felt like you approached the vocals differently on this compared to anything we'd done prior.
That's a good question. Max out here. So I think when we do vocals, I would get a little bit silly goofy, but Nico really makes me think about the way that I'm singing the words. Like, he wants it to quote unquote be real. They just captured like the raw emotion of like what the lyrics actually trying to say. So I think this was the most I've put effort into thinking how it makes me feel whilst I'm singing it, and I think that reflects on the tracks.
Yeah, just because it is emotional and relevant to our emotions.
Absolutely.
So it's
every time I'd be singing, he's like, more emotion. I'm like,
I feel like just naturally when you sing, or when anyone sings, they sort of tend to mean it, in the sense that like you're naturally like emoting when you're singing. But we definitely took like, especially because some of the songs were such songs we've been so careful about capturing a certain emotion in, we were definitely very, I guess, meticulous with the delivery of certain things and making sure that they really captured word by word everything we were feeling with it, which was probably a little more in depth than we'd gone on prior songs as well.
Yeah, plus like the song lyrically, the songs so they meant more to me than other songs have previously, like Hope You're Happy, How to Swim, Wish I Could Show You, Just Off the Top of the Dome. Very relevant for what I was going through at the time, and so meant a lot. So I wanted to make sure that when I was singing it, people could kind of just feel the emotion that I had behind it. I think artistry has evolved, I guess, just over us wanting to become better musicians, better writers, and like we have Come Over, which is just a fun song to be, but like lyrically it doesn't mean much. But then you have songs like How to Swim, when it's just like we put so much time and effort into making sure the lyrics just like meant everything when we were writing it. So I guess over time growing and really trying to make sure people can connect with our lyrics and the way the songs are made is what I would say.
Also, we were never like a developed band at all. Like Ellis brought that first song to me, Come Over, and I just said like, it's a good song, but the production's a bit garb, let's work on it together. And then we got to where the first song came out to, and then from there, like you really, if you listen to our catalog, you can hear exactly what we went through, because we were just like trying to figure out what's good. We were like, let's write some more music. What do we write? Like Nico wasn't even in, no, you were in the band by the time we put that in, but like when we were working on Come Over, you weren't. And then it was after that we all sort of like, this is kind of what works. Yeah.
It was so rushed.
Yeah, it was all. It was
like,
well, yeah, we would
write a song, put a song out, and then just constantly. But with this, we had a lot of time to. Yeah, that's
very much so. Like most of the time, we kind of write a cool song and we'd be like, this is a vibe, let's put it out, because we're like already a band, we've already put a song out, we kind of need to keep songs coming. And then we were gonna put an EP together a couple years back, and we felt like we put the songs out still, but we felt like we were selling a debut EP short by putting them together as a project, because they were all really cool songs, but they just didn't speak to anything together. And then it was after that we sort of were really itching to put like a project together, and that's when we really started to focus on like, where have we arrived as a band and what do we actually sound like right now. And yeah, that's probably the most consistent block of music we've put out in terms of the sonics and the, I guess, like emotional gravity as well. Yeah, that's kind of how that project came together, was striving for the next part of our growth as a band. It's so random. It's yeah. I mean, like the general gist of how we write music tends to be me and Nico start just vibing on something instrumental, and Ellis will just be sitting in the background singing along until one of us goes, that needs to keep going, and then we'll loop back to it. But in terms of like process or who's playing what, or if there's like, sometimes Ellis just comes in with a melody and we're like, just kind of vibe with that. Sometimes someone comes in with a full demo and then we're like, that's cool, or a full demo and there's one tiny bit of it we like and we just tear it apart and take that. So I wouldn't say there's much of a process, but
I don't say there's one song that I wouldn't, no, maybe that's not true, but like so many songs from the start of when we started writing to now, like that you can like replicate how we did it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, do you know, I'd almost say before I I'm sure Nico will have something to say about this as well, so I will hand it off. But I was just going to say that I feel like part of the process is the lack of process as well. Like, we're all very flexible with the way we like to write, and no one's this has to be done one way or the other. Nico, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that really. It's just like you can't really go into something being like, this is how it's going to happen. Like, you just kind of do it and then it happens and that's whatever. And it's like, if that's how you do it, that's how you do it, huh? Nah, that's the whole opposite of what we're trying to do. Trying not to, but it's like, because it's like, sometimes you like with certain songs in particular, like How to Swim, like was just kind of happened, like just we were like sitting right there actually, and then and then but yeah, it's like you can't predict that that's how it's gonna happen, so you just kind of do it. Maybe How to Swim. I don't know, because it's like, yeah, it's weird. I feel like this EP is a very good reflection of us right now, but not necessarily of our like entire catalog, because it's like, but like that's just
a little bit left of field from what we used.
But it's like, but that's what it is now. That's us. So it's like in the moment, it's like I'd say How to Swim. Yeah.
I'd probably say All My Friends personally, because it's the most energetic song, and that's how we are when we play live. So I'd say that would be my pick to show someone.
I think if I wanted to show someone a song off the EP, just blanket, without trying to make them feel a certain way, and just what I was most happy with off the EP, I'd probably play them How to Swim. But I think if I wanted them to resonate with our whole catalog off the back of listening to it, maybe Wish I Could Show You, just because it's kind of a little more high energy, but they're all really fun. Like, it's weird because they stand out from our catalog listening to them by themselves, but when we play them live, which we're just in the process of doing kind of for the first time now on tour, they all make sense. You can kind of hear the tie that comes between all the songs when we play them live. It's just the phases we go through and how we produce them that makes them feel different, I think. It kind of comes back to How to Swim again. I guess my favorite lyrics of the record are probably that, but really the first verse through chorus is the bit that I'm always most stoked with. I don't know why. Just captures something nice.
I got two. The bridge of How to Swim. Just every time I listen to it, I'm like, cool. And then one of my favorite parts is the title of the EP is in the back end of Wish I Could Show You. It's such a nice moment to just like we were playing it like yesterday, and it's just like you're just kind of screaming like never thought of growing up, and then the whole crowd's like singing with you, and it's just such a cool little moment for me personally. And I'd say that would be one of my favorite parts.
There's a cool synth thing in How to Swim that I like. Let's leave it at that, I reckon. Yeah.
Damn, man of many words. Huge amount of pyrotechnics. Yeah, no. Honestly, we just genuinely love performing so much, and like whenever we're on stage, I'm in my absolute happy place, and like the fact that I get to let people have fun and like they love the songs and they sing along with everything, it's just the most rewarding feeling in the world. So the fact that we just get to do that together is one of the coolest things ever, like genuinely. And it's just such high energy, and we get people to sing, and we just want to make sure that everyone has a good time. That's yeah.
I'd say like if you're at a Loretta live show, you're seeing four dudes who are living for the moment of being up there, and we're all having a lot of fun. Loretta live, just high energy and a lot of having a good time. Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Pinatas.
Oh, true.
Yeah. You can't give you anything else away, but yeah, pinatas and balloons.
Pinatas,
Sparkles,
maybe some streamers.
Yeah.
Couple broken strings.
A few broken strings. I knew I was gonna break one last night. I could tell. Yeah.
Always breaks a string. Never not. I think that would probably be one of the most important things for us is getting in front of people to play, is because we wouldn't, I guess, be anywhere if it wasn't for the people in that room. Do you know what I mean? Like the people that have just like followed us since 2018 when we put the first song out, and to this day just still keep rocking up and coming to every single one of our shows is just insane to think about, because we're just three dudes who just genuinely love making music. So the fact that people want to rock up and have a good time every time means the world, like genuinely. Yeah, literally, you know what I mean? We just got lucky in that regard. So it's really something special. Like the fact that we get to be able to play shows all around like Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, places, you know, it's such a cool thing. Really, really cool thing.
We got 1975. Obviously, any pop band probably has a lot of influence from those guys. And I'd say off the newer record, someone like Phoebe Bridgers, or just someone who's, you know, take the time to be particularly introspective and, you know, write songs about the things.
This band Inhaler went through like a big phase of them for like a few days. And I like listened to them. I was like, yo, they have real drums. We should have real drums. And that was like, so, yeah.
You guys could tell me if I'm wrong here, but it'd be pretty cool to write it with Matty Healy and the 1975 boys, personally. Would I be wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just very cool. But like, a lot of the influences came from that. So it'd be sick to be able to be like 1975 X Loretta. Probably one of the coolest days of my entire life. So.
Love and Hate by Michael Kiwanuka was like that. Grace by Jeff Buckley.
Ed Sheeran's first album, because I met him and I was like, I want to do what you do. And then I just listened to Rinse and Repeat, and just the way he wrote was amazing.
I Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, I think. It was just like, I heard that as a teenager and I was like, this is really cool.
Tarzan. Phil Collins, What You Got? No, I'm kidding. That's one of the most amazing soundtracks ever.
Almost Famous.
If we could redo Sing Street, it's already perfect, but it'd be sick to just get our stuff on that. One of my favorite movies ever. You should watch it if you haven't.
Grease, I feel like that'd be really fun for some reason. Yeah.
Go back in time.
High School Musical even, you know, like. Don't break a string.
What can I do next to make sure people are having the best time possible? Like, what I need to do, like, to just, like, do I need to jump in the crowd, like, talk to some people? I don't know. Just, like, how can I make it more fun for people? I think that's what I'm thinking constantly. Also, don't forget the lyrics.
I'm honestly not thinking much. I'm, like, pretty comfy up there. I'm just having a good time. That's a hard question. I immediately went Hannah Montana, but I actually think Miley Cyrus. The career has just been much longer. There's more to take in.
You get the best of both worlds.
Do you though? Not in this question. In this question, you got one world or the other, and I think the Miley one is deeper.
I think you're right. I think, yeah. Like,
Okay.
You
My
go.
perspective is right. Miley's career is not over yet. Hannah's is. We know where that ended, right? It was there for a finite amount of time. Yeah, but Miley, we don't know what's gonna happen, bro. She could dip.
But I think
She could. She's done pretty well.
I think as an artist growing, you've got your Hannah Montana. She's then boom, she's grown and she's done this whole new thing. So I think I'm gonna have to lock in Miley Cyrus.
Rock You Like a Hurricane by Scorpion.
I like doing covers and stuff, but like when we played our first ever headline show and we had a whole bunch of people screaming back the lyrics, that was the most rewarding thing ever. Like that was like sick. So obviously I've covered a whole bunch of songs, but like that meant the most.
I remember my dad taught me how to play Let It Be on the piano once. First one I remember going to was when I was 6 years old. I went to the Rolling Stones with my dad in Melbourne. That was fun. I fell asleep, but I remember it being sick.
My first concert, I also fell asleep, but it was Steely Dan, and I was really young, but it was sick. It was really, really cool.
I did not fall asleep during my first concert. I can't remember which one was first, but I saw B.B. King and Santana in the same year when I was about 12 or 13, and those were my first. Yeah, there's B.B. King. Santana, unfortunately not, but there's still time. Paul McCartney, I saw him literally a week ago, and it was life-changing. Probably the most recent life-changing event of my life.
I think I was like 16 years old, and my dad took me to Coldplay, and I thought it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Like they were the first people to do the colored wristbands, and it was like the Milox Lotto tour, and I was standing there just watching. I was like, how music can do that to that many people. I was in awe. And then the 1975 when they played at that arena, I cried like an absolute baby, and that's the first time I like proper cried over music, and I was at just an overwhelming sense of like wow, and it was sick.
Probably Paul McCartney, yeah. That shit was crazy. That's so good. Backstreet Boy, 100%. Only because I'm a guy, but I mean like...
No way, dude. Sporty Spice.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, but Backstreet's back, dude. Yeah. Like, yeah.
If I was Posh Spice, I'd be married to David Beckham. So, and he's a football player, love football, so... No, she doesn't. She loves David, and that's all that matters. Backstreet Boy. just be back.
I mean, yeah, it's probably gonna be Backstreet Boys. I mean, like, it could be, it's close, but like, yeah, down, now. A Holly Humberstone, a Phoebe Bridgers, Boy Genius do some sort of How to Swim kind of situation. That would be fucking awesome.
Stevie Wonder.
Daft Punk or something.
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, yeah, you know, like that'd be crazy.
On both ends of the spectrum, I'd say our first Oath show that wasn't in, Oxford Arts show that wasn't in lockdown. So we did one in lockdown where we had to have like limited cap, but the first one we did where we could properly sell tickets to it was unreal. And then on the other end, we did a show in San Remo once where there was like maybe 4 people, including the band that was playing before us, and it was definitely memorable.
The first show we ever did.
Oh, true.
Yeah, like we played. It was it's Frida's, and you know what? Frida's. I found the cleaning out the garage today, and I found all the flowers and the vines we used to decorate it. But that was yeah, I think Mum might have thrown it away. That's fine. But yeah, that was probably the most. I mean, obviously Oath was sick, but just like the fact that we had like it was 150 cap and you had people just running in the door was the coolest thing. Like yeah, it was sick. And yeah, literally, they had to call someone up to get it in. But
Yeah, one of those.
Probably the Beatles, because they just introduced that level of fandom that then allowed other artists to just explode.
make sure you love it as much as you do now and keep going and just work hard and have fun. That's what it should always be about. It should be about music and having fun.
Yeah, that's probably it.
And like, like, there's so many other things that you like can overthink and stress about, but just if you ever get to that point, come back to why you're doing it and with the people you love and having like a good time doing it and having fun.
Yeah, I'd say to keep it really simple, just keep going. Because, you know, sometimes music, it's such a headache, or you've got all the side of the music industry that isn't actually making music that can really drown it out, both in like time and feeling. And so, yeah, just keep it going.
Yep.
Yeah, just keep it real, man. Just.
Always want to die sometimes by the 1975. That's just, that song gets you, man. And plus, if the world's ending, kind of just perfect.
Love You Should Have Come Over by Jeff Buckley. Definitely.
I think maybe Here Comes the Sun.
Yeah.
You know, like world's about to end.
I just kind of like, you're just sitting there, everything's about to blow up, and it just has this beautiful moment of like, wow.
Probably too much to be even put into words. Like, it's kind of just all we do or think about most of the time. And very much just what we're like naturally inclined toward doing as well.
This is all you want to do. Do you know what I mean? You just, all you want to do is music. And it's just like, it's kind of your whole life. So whatever that means. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's kind of like just who you are as a person. You just get to play music, do music, be with your friends all the time, constantly. And it's just like the best thing in the world. So whatever that is in a word.
So it's an outlet of life and expression. Yeah, you know, it's like something that you just do, but it's lit.
Yeah, it's
lit. It's lit. My dad showed me the My Generation performance of The Who, when they just like there's a bunch of explosives in the drums and stuff, and like they just start smashing shit everywhere. And I was like, that is cool. I want to do that. And I got a guitar for Christmas afterwards.
Listening to BB King in the car with my dad, I knew I wanted to play the guitar. I liked the sound of it. But then later on, after I'd already started playing a little, I went to a like holiday camp where they put you in a band for a week, and you spend the week like writing a song, playing with your band members. And that band ended up becoming my first band ever. But it was at the end of that week, I was like, there is absolutely nothing I'm going to do that isn't tied into whatever this is. And shout out to Big Music, because that's also where I met Nico. We were in rival bands.
There's a lot of tension between them. It is unbearable. Yeah, off camera. I was in choir when I was like in year 5, and then I just never stopped after that. But I think maybe I was watching Nickelodeon with my brother, and the Naked Brothers band was on TV, and they were just two brothers playing music together, and I was like, I want to do that with my friends. It was just like, they look like they're having the best time ever. And I was like, that is something I just want to do. And I guess now, here I am. Yeah. So, in the Naked Brothers band. Such a niche pool, but yeah.